never went live while moving in disguise. Okay, let's not do that one. Let's see, can I do this? Okay, so I'm pushing through traffic right now. All right, everybody might be at work right now, whatever the case may be, but check this shit out. The ancestors, my brother. The ancestors, my sister. The ancestors. So let's talk about the ancestors. When we looking at ancestors, right? We have to understand first, to even understand the ancestors, we need to understand ourselves and our mind, right? There's a universal mind, and you are the reflection. Your human mind is the reflection of, it's not less than, it's a reflection of the universal mind. And what makes up the mind? You have mental impressions that make up the mind. Because I'm about to get into the ancestral realms. What are the ancestral realms? What are the realms of the ancestors? The ancestors live in a realm that are based upon mental impressions. Why do you think when you go through every ancient tribe, every ancient civilization, they have a predominant thought form that exists? How they see the afterlife, how the afterlife is viewed, right? Now, if you pull back and move off all the layers, you'll see a commonality amongst whether it's Europeans, whether it's Indians, whether it's the Egyptians, whether it's the Yoruba, whether it's the Chinese, or the ancient Americas. You will see a commonality. And a commonality here is what I just said, the mental impressions. So everyone has built up. We should all know how the conscious and the subconscious mind works, right? If we understand how the conscious and the subconscious mind works, the subconscious mind takes in everything. The conscious mind deletes, distorts, and generalizes information. So that means if you're taking information about ancient civilizations, if you're taking information about ancient civilizations for the forefront, the exoteric aspect of it, you got to understand is deleted, distorted, and generalized. And then you have the priesthood that sits behind that. Whether they call it priesthood or not, in a background, whatever the fuck it wants to be called, it's the priesthood, right? You understand the esoteric or the occult meaning of these systems, right? So if you understand the esoteric meaning of these systems, this is getting into what we may call the subconscious aspects of these things, the hidden meaning of these things. So when you get to dealing with the ancestors, even our brother, the great late teacher Bobby Hemmett let us know this. And it wasn't just because he sat there and thought of it, even though he can't come like that. There are a bunch of ancient texts that correlate with each other, even over different time periods across the world where they may have never met each other. They saying the same thing. So these ancestral realms, or these dimensions, or whatever you may want to call it, or these different levels of heavens, or these different levels of hells, are all in the mind, the collective mind. These universal heavens and hells are part of the collective mind, are part of the collective human experience. What is Yakub is real? It don't even matter if you real, cause what? God damn it, that threw me off. Because now we getting into the aspect of understanding the universal mind. How does the universal mind work? It works off of impressions. You have experiences, and those experiences creates thoughts, and those thoughts then creates beliefs, and those beliefs end up creating systems, spiritual systems, or what we may call certain practices. Oh no, we don't sit hats on the bed. Oh no, we don't wear shoes in the house. Oh no, we don't do. It may create some forms of superstition, but those superstitions are built off of certain understandings of things outside of just our dimension. So if we go on to understanding the ancestors, right? we understand that ancestors are limited to a certain amount of thought forms, right? And thought forms exist in the manifest reality. Keynote, I want you to understand that the manifest reality in heavens, also hells, all exist. Yes, the hells and the heavens may be a higher or lower aspect of the manifest reality, but nonetheless, they are the manifest reality, though. This is the esoteric aspect of the exoteric studies and traditions that are passed around. This is priesthood shit. So even those ancestors live in a limited reality. So I don't give a fuck if they star seeds or they come from Andromeda or some faraway galaxy. They are under limitation. That'll make a motherfucker leave. But the point here I'm making is, if that's the case, while you still in this physical body, you can be looking at it, and neither way is wrong. It just depends on where you're trying to go. You can be looking at it as if, oh, the ancestors giving me strength. I gotta fight. Well, hold up. I'm standing on the shoulders of the ancestors. Okay. But on the other side, it's a flip side to this. This is a multi-dimensional or multi-paradoxal reality, right? The ancestors are dependent on your ass to go further than they went. Not just in starting a goddamn business, which is nothing wrong with that. Not just in getting out of generational curses, which I call generational thought forms, because it's all about the mind. Be transformed by renewal of the mind. When I first started this off, what did I say? Him who considers himself bound in bondage, then so shall he be. He who considers himself free, then so shall he be. This is a mind thing. Even the mind is limited because the mind is part of the manifest reality. What the Hindus call prakriti. The mind is subject to change. And what do we know about the divine feminine aspect called prakriti or called the matrix? It changes. Hopefully this is going to make sense to somebody. Because the point that I'm getting here is that your ancestors are dependent on you to move beyond the limitations. Your ancestors are dependent on you to move beyond the limitations of whatever fuck dimension that you can think of. And hey, it don't matter because guess what? You got plenty of lifetimes to figure this shit out. You ain't got to figure this shit out on this one. Your ass will be back. And ain't nothing wrong with that. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Where everybody in a rush to get the fuck out, I get it. But how, when the way that you think about freedom is limited to this reality, how can one think outside of the realities of limitations? You're thinking outside of the limitations when you're talking about fifth dimension. It's a dimension, which means it's limited, which means it's boxed in some. It may not be a goddamn square box. It may not be a. If you join and hit the like button, please. Y'all know that. Y'all watch YouTube videos. Help a nigga out. So your ancestors' greatest reality, I would think, you tell me if I'm wrong, would be to get out of levels of limitation. That's the ultimate reality. That's the ultimate goal. To remove self out of the limiting realities. The ultimate reality. Your ancestors depend on you. If you moving in that frequency, your ancestors depend on you. There are those of us who have came and realized and had enough lifetimes that something just attracts them to the fact it's like, I don't care about all this dimension shit. like not beyond like as in superior, but like I want to know past that which we call dimensions. I want to know past that which we call the seven heavens or the seven hells. I want to know past that starseed shit. I want to know past that. I am more than earth, water, air, fire, and Akash or ether. I want to know more than that. If you join, hit the like button, please. I want to know more than that. Are you one of those who want to know more than that? If you are, then stay tuned. I got some heavy shit coming up. And I know this is only for the advanced, but I have no problem with leaving the mental impression on those other ones. Because maybe another lifetime, those other ones will get it and grasp it and somehow, for some reason, can't figure out why they have an attraction to that level of knowledge and information. So, as always, no obstacles will apprehend you. Prosper over pain. There are no obstacles. Those obstacles are only opportunities for you to prosper over the pain. And that's standing on principle, aka standard operating procedure, aka what's the other? It's standing on principle, man. We standing on principle. I done had a blank thought come through my head. So that's the divinity in me. I'll let y'all, man.